right, people, in my kitchen, in my world, urban renewal is herbs in a new way. Stay tuned. It's going to be good. Hi, I'm Cathy Neptune. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to share with you tips, tools, and recipes to make your time in the kitchen fun, fast, and fabulous. And we're doing herbs today in ways you may not even thought of or seen before, I hope. And it'll be a good jumping off point for you to create your own mixes, blends, and herb dishes. Now, I'm going to caution you up front. We're doing everything herb today. Don't make all of these at once because it's just too over the top herby. And select a main dish and then maybe a drink or an appetizer, or we're going to do like an herb garlic bread on the side, but don't do everything herb. Trust me, there's no wine that'll kill that one. So you want to just be very conservative, pick one or two dishes, but keep these in your repertoire. You're going to really, really enjoy them. And we're going to start out with a drink, a strawberry basil lemonade. And I have about 2 cups of water here that I'm going to add about 1.5 cups or so of sugar. And I'm going to microwave this to dissolve the sugar. So this, you can do all of this ahead of time if you'd like. So let's do 5 minutes. And see, it's what you call basically a simple syrup. And then besides that, we have, look at how thick this is. This is about 2 cups, almost 2 cups, to 1 2/3 cups of pureed strawberries. And I added to that a little bit of water to thin it out. But we're going to add water to this mix. And I have here about 1 cup of freshly squeezed lemon juice. And that's probably 5 to 6 good-sized lemons. Now, remember the trick I taught you about juicing lemons. First of all, you zest the lemons before you juice them. And in here, I use the zest of 2 lemons. And to juice your lemons, I poke them with a little knife, make a little poke in the lemon, put them in the microwave. I put all 6 of them in the microwave, and I microwave them for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. Not too long, or they could explode on you, which is why you pierce them first with a knife. And then you take a juicer. I use a handheld one, and you just juice them. You'll be amazed at how much juice you get from all those lemons. And I kept all the lemons, and I put it in a big pitcher. And I made lemon water that I drink, stay hydrated all day long. So nothing really goes to waste, and it's kind of nice. I put a little mint with the lemon water, but we're making lemonade. So about 1 cup of fresh lemon juice will yield that with the zest of 2 lemons and pureed strawberries. And we're going to strain all of this. So we're going to get, there are seeds in here, and you'll see how very thick it is. So we're going to start out probably with 1 cup of strawberries and then do it to taste, because we're going to thin this out with water. You can do water, or I have a special seltzer water that I bought that's called strawberry cream. So I'm giving you ideas of how to do different ways, and we're also going to add some of our fresh basil to this as well. So I'm going to grab a few leaves of fresh basil to remind me, and then we're going to see how our sugar water is going. That's looking pretty good. And then we're going to strain it out, but I'm going to let this steep for a while to infuse all the different flavors. So we'll put that here. And then I have some pretty glasses that I've assembled, and we're going to do that. And then we're going to make some herb butters as well. I'm going to give this a little bit of a mix. And this is an important thing to do so that
you won't get those sugar crystals in there. I like to do it in a glass bowl so I can see what's going on. And that's looking pretty good. And the sugar syrup you could do ahead of time. Now you can see it's a little milky colored because of the sugar, but it's pretty much dissolved on the bottom. So that's exactly what you want to have. And then I'm going to add about a cup of our pureed strawberries. And I know we haven't filtered this yet, but we will at the end. But this is just to infuse the flavors. And we want that lemon flavor, so I'm going to use all of the lemon juice and the zest. And the pulp, too. I think there's a lot of flavor in the pulp as well. I'll stir that. And we're going to add, now basil is kind of strong. And you know basil is a member of the mint family. So we're right in keeping with the flavors of summer with mint. And I'm just bruising these leaves. And I'm just going to put that amount. Not a lot, because you don't want it to be a basil drink. You want it to just a hint of flavor in the background. And we're going to garnish it with some mint and lemon and strawberries, so everybody will know what's in there. And of course we're going to label it so people will know. So I'm going to set this aside to let this steep for a while like you would a tea. And when we come back, I'm going to start out making some beautiful herb butters that are fabulous. And you can have these in your freezer all year long. So we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. We're making herb butters of all kinds. We're doing a roasting one for chicken and poultry, ones for breads and pastas, a Greek one, and an Italian one. So I'm going to start out doing some roasting herbs, and I have here all different softened butters, about half a stick. But if you want to make these and freeze them, I'd recommend starting with a whole stick of butter, or depending on how many herbs you have and how much you want to make. So half a stick of soft room temperature butter, and you got to have garlic. I just think garlic is the best. So we're going to put garlic in here, pressed garlic, about one good sized peeled clove of garlic. And we're going to use a lot of garlic today, so that's a good thing. And then, oh, that smells really good. And you want to peel your garlic before you use it. That's a good thing. And then we have here some fresh chives. I'm going to use here some garlic chives from my garden. And these are so fragrant. I love buying, I mean, you could use regular chives, but I thought garlic chives are fun to do. So I'm just going to chop. You can eyeball it, probably a good tablespoon. I'm just using these because I have them in the garden. So we'll do that. And set that aside. And then some rosemary. Now, rosemary is a member of the pine family, and I'm going to strip off. It's very, very strong and fragrant, so I'm just going to use a little bit. And if you strip all the herbs off of this, and you have this stick, you use this and use it as a skewer on your barbecue grill. And you can skewer scallops or chicken tenders on here, little chunks of chicken, sausage, and you put them all the way up here and put this on your grill, and the herbs will smoke and give a wonderful fragrance to whatever meats that you're using. So we're just using a little bit of the rosemary. Chop this very finely. And we're doing some herb chicken thighs. So, of course, rosemary goes very well with chicken thighs or any kind of chicken. So we're doing that. And then, again from my garden, I have some lemon thyme. And we're just going to, the stems are a little woody if you can. See how they just come right off. Oh, and I can smell the lemon. So fragrant. We're going to chop those. And this would be nice to have in your freezer. And I'm going to show you how we can freeze some of these herb butters. And you just take a slice, like a little medallion, and tuck it underneath the chicken skin, and you're good to go. So I always season with a little salt and pepper. Not much, just a bit. And then I'm going to take a little spatula and mix this. Get all the garlic and herbs in there. And you can see about a tablespoon or a teaspoon of each is all you need to get yourself started. Like that. And I have my oven preheating at 425 degrees, and I'm using my favorite cast iron skillet. So I have some chicken breasts that I've patted dry. Put those here. I'm going to dry them off a little more, like so. That helps with the browning. And this is a great technique. You're going to really like this. And we're using all of this butter, so you wouldn't have to put it in another container. And I've loosened the back of the skin, and I'm putting about a teaspoon of this herbed butter underneath the skin, and that's going to melt and baste the chicken inside. And just find the loose side. And a good way to loosen the skin, if it isn't already loose, is just take a spoon and go like this underneath the skin. But these were pretty good. I didn't have to loosen the skin at all. And chicken thighs, I think, are just the perfect vehicle for these. Put that underneath, and you kind of smush it around a little bit. But that's going to melt away into the chicken. We have just enough. I'm going to put a little more here. Oh, it's so fragrant and so good. You could serve a nice plain rice with this, or some buttered pasta. A tabbouleh salad would be good. There we go. I'm going to clear this off. And I'm going to bring over my hot skillet from the oven. And you want to be very careful with this. Very, very careful. And I have a trivet underneath with a hot pad. And I'll get my skillet, leaving the oven at 425. And this has been heating probably for 15 minutes. And you always leave that pot holder there to remind yourself how hot it is. Close that up. And now I want to add a little bit of vegetable oil, because butter might burn, but vegetable oil will kind of neutralize it. Just a little bit, and spread that about a teaspoon or so. Just eyeball it. And I'm going to take our chicken thighs, leave that on there. And where are my tongs? Okay, I'm going to take these and put this into the skillet. Skin side up. Do you hear that sizzle? That's what you want to hear. And move the skin back over the chicken if it kind of falls out of place. I'm going to put one in the middle. And we're going to put on the timer. And we're going to flip these halfway through. There we go. And pop this back in the oven. and put on the timer. I'm going to do 20 minutes on this. And 20 minutes. There we go. And when we come back, we're going to make a few more herb butters, and we're going to check on our strawberry basil lemonade. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. We're going to start our chickens in the oven at 425, and we're going to do another herb butter, again starting with a half a stick of softened butter. And this is salted butter. You can use unsalted, vegan, whatever you like. So we're going to start with that, and because this is Italian, we're going to do some fresh oregano. And if you've ever grown fresh oregano, it's much stronger than you think it is. Even though the dried is pretty heavy, it can be a little bit bitter. So I'm not probably doing half a teaspoon of fresh oregano. And I try not to get the stems. If you can, just kind of trim around, because the stems are a little woody. But basically just that much. And we're going to do something with this in the oven with the chicken, so you can taste. And again, this may be a little much if you're serving an herb chicken, but we're doing a garlic bread, an Italian herbed garlic bread. So this would be good if you're serving a plain pasta or a bolognese, or even as an appetizer. Sometimes I do croutons too. Those are good. And then that's oregano, and let's do some basil, because we got to have basil with Italian. And this is very mild, and I like a lot of basil. This smells so sweet to me. This smells like summer. And you might be thinking, could I do this in the food processor? I wouldn't. I think the herbs would bruise and not be very appetizing, especially the basil that turns black. So kind of restrain yourself from doing this in a food processor. So let's add a little bit of chives. I chopped up some of our garlic chives. So a teaspoon of those. And let's do a lot of garlic, because it's like a garlic bread. Fresh garlic is always the best. And one good sized clove, like so. That's a lot of garlic. And then let's do basil chives. And mush it up. There's no other word to say. Just little chives. And I'm going to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese, about a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese. I think that goes really good with herb butter. And then I'm going to do a smear on some Tuscan wheat bread, or you could use sourdough or whatever your favorite bread is. And we're going to toast this in the oven with our chicken. But not just yet. I'm going to wait till we turn the chicken over, and then we can add this. Look at all those lovely herbs and the cheese and the garlic, and how nice is this? This would be great on pasta. There we go. We're going to set that aside. We'll put that in the oven shortly. We have another 11 minutes in there. And then let's see what's going on with our strawberry lemonade. What I have here, we're infusing this with the basil and the sugar syrup and the lemon juice and zest. And now you want to strain it. So I have here just a regular bowl. And I like it with a spout because we're going to pour it into a pitcher. And we're just going to pour this slowly. And I did my strawberries in a blender. And you can barely see the seeds. It really pulverized all the seeds. I'm going to let that set for a minute, and that's going to filter out. And some people do this without filtering it, but it just makes a nicer presentation, so we're going to set that aside. You could do this overnight and chill it in the refrigerator as well. So we're going to set that there, and you can see it's filtering through the bottom. And let's make some more herbed butter. And let's see, we're going to do, let's do a Greek one. Again, starting with our softened butter. And we're going to start out with some dill, fresh dill, because most of your Greek dishes have some kind of dill in them. And you just scrape it off like so. Oh, this smells so good. So nice and fresh. Make sure you have a good fresh, sharp knife rather, and fresh herbs. So that's probably a good tablespoon of dill. And then, of course, we always have garlic. A lot of garlic. Big clove of garlic. I always like to peel my garlic ahead of time because I use so much of it, especially in the summer months. And we're going to do a nice big clove of garlic. That's a lot of garlic. That'll be good. And put it all in there. And then in addition, we're going to do some lemon zest. And this is from the lemons that I used for the strawberry lemonade. About a slight teaspoon, not a lot, because it's very strong. We'll mix that in. What else? Lemon zest and oregano. And some parsley. And these have all been washed. Do you know another good tip too? You could take any of these herbs and grab a bunch of your dill and oregano and some parsley, and you can dip this in melted butter or barbecue sauce. Use this as a basting brush on your chicken or your scallops or your seafood kebabs and baste them, and then you take your herbs and put them on top of your hot coals, close the lid, and your dish will be infused with smoky herb flavors. It's fabulous. The only downside is all your neighbors will smell it and they'll come over and they're going to want to know what you're cooking. Then they're going to stay for dinner, which isn't a bad thing. Oh, it's pretty good, but that is such a great way to use if you have a surplus of fresh herbs. What a nice way. And pick your favorite combination of herbs and use them. So that's probably 2 teaspoons of fresh parsley. And then not a lot of oregano. Let's use a little oregano. And these are the flavors that you're going to find in Greek cuisine. It's amazing all the different flavors with just a few herbs, depending on how you combine them, and all those little extras like lemon zest and Parmesan cheese, all the different flavors you can add make them their own unique style. So this, oh, you've got to do this. This is so fun to do. And have the children get in, chop up all your herbs, and have them make their own herb butters. And the most important thing with this, I think, is to label them. You want to know what's in here. And put a description of all the herbs that you've made. Then you'll know what's inside because they all look the same when they're frozen. Now I'm taking some plastic wrap And of course, you could do as much or as little as you want with this herb butter. Put it on some plastic wrap. Have your label ready, because if you're doing a bunch of these all at once, you will forget what they are. And you just take them like so. Fold your plastic wrap over, and starting from the end, you roll it tightly into a log, like so, and you shape it out, and you take your label, and you put it in the freezer just like that. And I'll show you one that I have in here. And you take it, and you have, like on baked potatoes or pasta, frozen solid, you just take it, slice it, put it under the skin of your chicken on top of basting scallops, herb butters and dips, on breads, you name it, you have it ready to go. It's just a great alternative to have something this nice, this fresh, all year long. So I really hope that you try these. And we're going to do one more. We're going to do one for, let's do an herb butter for breads and pasta, just something that you might want to do with pasta. We're going to again start with parsley and some oregano. This would be a great one too on pizza. A little bit of basil, not a lot. Softened butter. And I think I'll leave the garlic out of this one, but you can certainly add it with one of your others. I think I'm going to add some chives because I have quite a few chives, some garlic chives in there. And that would be good. If you added dill to this, you could add it to lobster or seafood or salmon. How nice is that? So we're going to set that aside. I'm going to check on my chicken. And when we come back, we're going to see how our lemonade is doing and make a nice spring herb salad. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. You know what I did? My chicken wasn't browning too good, so I chose not to turn it over in the oven. And I bumped the oven up to 450 in my cast iron skillet. And I put the timer on for another 20 to 25 minutes. So it should brown evenly all over. So in the meantime, we strained out our strawberries for our strawberry basil lemonade. And I'm going to make a fun little side salad with our herbs. So I'm going to do, let me see, I'm going to do a little bit of parsley. Fresh parsley is always good. It brings a brightness to every dish. And I have here some radishes. Got herbs all over. I have a little dish with sliced cucumbers, radishes, and this curly leaf red lettuce because I thought this would be very pretty and bright. So I'm going to cut up some fresh parsley. And my parsley came up from last year. I've never had before, but I think because it was such a mild winter, a lot of my herbs did pretty well. Of course, the chives come up every year. Basil never will. Basil is very delicate, and that's something you don't want to plant till the weather is really nice because it gets a little brown in the cold weather. And that's usually one of the first ones to go. But parsley is pretty rugged. And the thyme, of course, comes up in the mince. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to grab some more fresh chives here. We're using a lot of chives today, which is a good thing. I'm going to mix that in. They're already chopped. Do that. And we're kind of doing an herb salad. And mix that together and put this, a good amount of fresh parsley and chives. They're very mild. And we're making kind of an herb salad. And then I'm going to take this leaf lettuce. I'm going to cut off a little. And I just think it's so pretty. I'm going to kind of put it around the dish on the outside. And this is a little fussy for company. But I just think it looks spectacular. And if you pre-slice a lot of your herbs and your greens ahead of time, you're going to be pretty well set. And then I have these beautiful cucumbers, and I'm going to put them around with some little radishes poking out of the greens, along with the cucumbers. It brings out a little pop of color. If you're not a big fan of radishes, you don't have to put them in, but in the spring, they add nice colors. As an alternative, too, you could put cherry tomatoes and slice those. Those would be good. And we're doing 2 servings. And these are just regular cucumbers. You could use English cucumbers. We're going to do a light vinaigrette. But remember, you have the parsley and the green onions in there, which will add a nice bright freshness to this salad. And then just very simply, and olive oil, and you could use any kind of vinegar. I kind of like the taste of a apple cider vinegar in this. It really brings out the freshness of the herbs. A little bit of salt and pepper. There's a blend here. And then we're going to whisk in some olive oil. And that's it. Very, very simple dressing. And that should be good. We're just going to drizzle that over the top. Not a lot. These curly leaf lettuce, they're very delicate, so you don't want to overdo it on that. And then I'm going to grab our lemonade and finish that off. Here's our little salads. And you know what? I'm going to clean up here. And when we come back, we're going to finish everything off with our strawberry basil lemonade. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. I'm checking up on the chicken in the oven. I added a little salt and pepper. I like to add it towards the end so it doesn't draw all the moisture out of the chicken. And I also remember the Italian garlic bread that we spread the herb butter on. I just popped those into the oven. That takes about 10 to 12 minutes. So I put that in and they're all cooking. We have our beautiful radish and cucumber salad. Look at, I strained our strawberry basil lemonade. How beautiful is that? And I have some garnishes here. And of course you need strawberry glasses. And I filled them with ice and chilled them. And I'm going to put a little bit of this strawberry syrup over the top. And you can adjust this to whatever taste if it's sweet. Now, a good suggestion too is if you didn't want to add all that sugar, you could use a natural sweetener like stevia is a really good one. Whatever you prefer, and make this totally sugar-free. And a fun thing I'm going to add is this strawberry cream seltzer water. How fun is that? We're going to give it a little bit of a refreshing fizz over the top. And this is totally to taste. You can taste this and see if it's not sweet enough, or if you want a little more strawberry flavor. I certainly have extra. So I'll be having this all week. And then beautiful slice of lemon on the side. A strawberry garnish, so everybody knows what's in there. How beautiful. And the strawberries have been so good this year. I say that every year because I just love strawberries. And a beautiful little mint, not a mint, a basil leaf on the top. And I even like to put some lemons in the lemonade. It keeps it very flavorful. So there is our strawberry basil lemonade. That says summer to me. That is spectacular. And if you didn't want to use a strawberry cream seltzer, you could use plain seltzer. Champagne would be elegant, or just add a little bit more water to it if you wanted to. But I think this is perfect. And we're going to put this aside and bring out and plate up our chicken and serve everything together. Okay, so we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back. I wish you could smell everything, all these herbs. Fabulous. I just took the chicken out. Look at how roasted it is. You could add wine to this if you'd like. Look at how crispy that skin is on the chicken. It's just fabulous and juicy, and all that herb butter that was basted in there. And you could do like I said, a nice rice or a pasta with this, a baked potato with some chive butter. Spectacular. These are the garlic and herb toasts that I did with the Italian herb butter, and just cooked them for about 12 to 14 minutes in the oven with the chicken. Our colorful, light herb salad with chives, parsley, curly leaf red lettuce, some radishes, and cucumbers with a light vinaigrette. That's fabulous. And you have to try this strawberry basil lemonade. Sitting out on the deck on a beautiful day like today, it says, hello, summer. It does to me. I hope you try these recipes. Thanks to everybody who makes suggestions, and just keep me posted on what you're making in your world, too. Thanks so much for watching, and may the fork be with you.